I woke up at 6:12 a.m. Same as always, no alarm this time, but still, 6:12 exactly. My phone was dead, not low battery, not rebooting, just dead, cold, lifeless, black screen, no logo, no vibration, like it had never been turned on at all. That was the first thing that felt wrong, but I didn't panic. I figured there was a power issue. Maybe the grid had gone down in the night. Then I saw the ceiling fan spinning. The fridge was humming. The kitchen light flickered when I flipped the switch. Electricity was fine. Still, the silence, even inside the house. No morning birds outside, no neighbors slamming car doors, no distant highway rumble. Just stillness, heavy and unnatural. I live in a small town called Fairview. Population? Just under 4,000. The kind of place where everyone still waves at each other, where you can smell your neighbor's coffee from your porch, where the morning air usually sounds like lawnmowers, dogs barking, or a kid crying because someone ate the last toaster pastry. But that morning, nothing. I opened my window, leaned out. No traffic sounds, no music from the Wilson's patio speakers, not even wind. It felt like the world was holding its breath. I stood there a moment longer, and then stepped outside. It was bright, not warm, not cold, just bright. The sky was a perfect pale blue, cloudless, motionless. The kind of sky you see in postcards, too clean to be real. But that silence, it was louder now. No kids on bikes, no joggers, no garbage trucks groaning up the hill, no birds. That was what really stuck with me. No birds, not a chirp, not a flap of wings, like someone had erased the sky. I walked down the steps, across my yard. The grass felt wet, but the sprinklers hadn't gone off. I looked both ways down my street. Maple Avenue. Nothing moved. No parked cars that weren't normally there. No open garage doors. Just stillness. I called out, "Hello?" Nothing. No echo. Not even my own voice sounded right. It was like the world was listening, but didn't want to answer. I knocked on my neighbor's door. The Ramirez family. Nothing. I knocked again. Louder. No movement inside. I thought maybe everyone was still asleep. It was early, after all. But then I noticed something strange. Their porch light was on. Their car was in the driveway. And through the front window, I saw a cup of coffee, still steaming. That's when my stomach dropped. Because if the coffee was hot, they had to be nearby, right? But the street was empty, the world was still, and the silence, it was only getting louder. I tried the front door of the Ramirez house. It wasn't locked. That's not too unusual around here. Fairview's the kind of town where people leave keys in the ignition, while they run inside for coffee. Still, it felt wrong. I stepped inside, calling out, "Hello? Mr. Ramirez, Rosa." Nothing. The air was warm, lived in. There was toast on the counter, still golden. A phone sitting next to it, screen black, just like mine. A half-folded newspaper. Cartoons playing on the living room TV, but with no sound. No voices, no static, just moving pictures. I walked through the house, room by room. No signs of panic, no struggle. Beds still made. Slippers beside the couch. An upstairs bathroom light was still on, but no one, not a single person. Not hiding, not missing, just gone. I checked the next house. Same story. Front door unlocked. Dinner on the stove. A plate of cookies on the kitchen table. Even a faucet left running. Just a trickle, like someone meant to come back in a second, and didn't. By the fifth house, I stopped calling out names. I already knew no one would answer. The whole street, empty, but not abandoned. There's a difference, I realized. An abandoned house feels different. It echoes, dust gathers in the corners, the air gets dry. These homes were paused, as if time had stopped mid-sentence. I grabbed my bike from the garage, pedaled toward Main Street. The whole ride, I didn't see a single car. No joggers, no delivery vans, no loose dogs, not even a bird overhead. And Main Street, usually packed with coffee drinkers, honking cars, the faint buzz of teenagers skipping school, Nothing. The diner's neon sign was glowing. No one inside. Plates of food sat steaming in booths. The soda machine still gurgled in cycles. I walked behind the counter. The register was open, but untouched. A receipt still curled its way out of the printer. That's when I noticed it. Not just that everyone was gone, but how they were gone. No mess, no broken windows, no overturned chairs, no blood, no footprints, no drag marks. Just absence. Every phone I checked was dead. Every screen either black or filled with static. Every door was unlocked. Every engine cold. Every coffee cup still warm. And all of it without a single sign of struggle. That's what got to me. Because if something terrible had happened, if there was chaos or violence, at least that would make sense. But this was clean, deliberate. Whatever happened in Fairview, it happened instantly. And somehow, I wasn't part of it. And the worst part, there were no bodies, no funerals, no goodbye notes, just houses like museum exhibits, perfect, quiet, untouched, a town full of ghosts without the ghosts. That was the moment I stopped feeling alone and started feeling watched. I stopped at the gas station next. The doors slid open like normal. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, but no one was behind the counter. I walked slowly inside. There were 2 coffees on the checkout counter, both still steaming. The ice machine outside was running. The ceiling fans inside were spinning. The candy display had a bag of chips mid-fall, caught between the wire racks, like someone had just reached for it and disappeared. I stood there for a long moment, just listening. Nothing. Not even the usual hum of a refrigerator. Only the soft whine of the overhead lights and my own heartbeat. That's when I noticed the security wall. 12 monitors, mounted above the cashier's station. All of them were on. All of them showed me. Standing there, from 12 different angles, even from positions where there weren't cameras. One screen showed the back of my head. Another showed a wide aerial shot, like it was taken from the ceiling, but the store doesn't have a dome cam. And worse, a few of the angles were moving, tracking me. I raised my hand. The screens raised theirs, all of them, in perfect sync. I didn't scream. I just backed away, fast, almost slipped on a wet floor sign that hadn't been there when I came in. I left the gas station and didn't look back. Next stop was the police station. The front doors were unlocked, reception desk empty, no voices on the radio, just a low, endless hiss. I stepped into the back offices, desks, chairs, bulletin boards full of reminders and citations. Everything was in place, but not a single officer in sight. There was a sandwich on one of the desks, half eaten, still warm, and a cup of coffee beside it, still steaming. Same as the diner, same as the houses, but this time, one monitor was working, not static, just black, with one line of pulsing white text. Do not look for them. I stared at it for a long time. Then the screen flickered and died. I turned around slowly. That's when I noticed the lights outside, street lights blinking on and off. It was 10:34 a.m. Sun was up. Sky still perfectly blue, but the street lamps were glowing like it was midnight. I stepped outside. One by one, the lights flickered off, all the way down the street, like something was moving, unseen, triggering them, one at a time. I don't know how long I stood there. I only moved when the last light, the one just above me, buzzed, dimmed, and then went out. And in the silence that followed, I heard static again, but it wasn't from a speaker. It was behind me, right behind me, like something was breathing through a broken radio. I didn't turn around. I just walked away, fast, calm, like if I pretended it wasn't real, it wouldn't follow me. But deep down, I knew something was watching, something that had seen me on those screens, and now it wanted to see what I would do next. I drove home, not because I felt safe there, just because I didn't know where else to go. The streets were still empty, no wind, no clouds, just that same pale blue sky, flat and unchanging, like it had been painted onto the world and then forgotten. That's when I noticed something. There were shadows on the road. Not tree shadows, not mine, just shapes, long, thin, humanoid shadows. Stretched across the asphalt, moving slowly, like someone walking between me and the sun. Only there was no one there, just the shadow, pacing across the street, and then it was gone. I stopped the car, rolled down the window, nothing. I looked at the house it had come from, empty, one of the ones I had already checked. But in the second-story window, I saw movement, just a flicker, a blur, like someone ducking back out of sight the moment I looked up. I climbed out of the car and walked up to the house. The door creaked open at my touch. Inside, same as before, lights on, TV buzzing, no one home. But the air felt colder now, like the temperature had dropped 20 degrees since I left the street. And upstairs, the bathroom mirror was fogged, like someone had just taken a shower, but everything was dry. No water in the tub, no damp towels, just fog on the glass, and a single handprint in the center, pressed from the wrong side. I ran. Didn't check any more houses that day. Didn't go back into town. I went home. I locked every door, closed every curtain, turned on every light, and waited. That night, I didn't sleep. Couldn't. Not with the silence out there. And the shadows, they were moving again. I saw them under the cracks in the curtains, stretching long across the lawn, pacing my porch. Like something was circling, waiting for me to open the door. Then, at exactly 3:11 a.m., I heard it. The sound of a lock turning from inside my house, the front door. I know I locked it. I checked 3 times, but it unlocked itself. Not violently, no loud bang, just a soft click, like someone had a key, like someone was coming home. I stood there holding my breath, in the hallway, frozen. The door didn't open, but something stepped inside. I heard the floorboards creak, slow, deliberate. Footsteps on the hardwood. One step, pause, another, then breathing. Right behind me. Warm, wet, close enough to move the hair on the back of my neck. I turned around. Nothing was there, but the breathing didn't stop. It just got quieter, slower, like whatever was there was smiling. It's been 2 days now, I think. Time feels soft. The sky hasn't changed. Still that same pale blue dome. No clouds, no wind, no sunrise, no sunset. Just light. Stuck. Like the sun's hanging behind a sheet of painted glass. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. And I'm not tired. That might scare me more than anything else. Last night, I climbed the old water tower. It used to be the best view in town. You could see all of Fairview from up there. Main Street, the school, the woods. Now it just feels high enough to be alone. At first, I didn't see anything. Just the town, still, frozen. Houses like open dollhouses. Streets like dried veins. But then, I looked at the edge of town, where the forest meets the train tracks, and I saw them. Shadows, dozens of them. Tall. Thin. Wrong. They weren't walking. They weren't drifting. They were watching. Gathered at the edge like a tide held back by glass. All facing inward. Staring at the town. At me. I couldn't see faces, but I didn't need to. I could feel it. I was being studied. Measured. Like something had set a trap, and was waiting to see how I'd behave inside it. The longer I stared, the more they seemed to move. Not closer exactly, just more present. Like noticing them made them real. That's when I understood something. Whatever took everyone, it didn't forget me. It left me, on purpose. I don't know why. Maybe I was out of sync. Maybe I looked the wrong way at the wrong time. Maybe I'm a control variable in some test I don't understand, but I'm not supposed to be here. Not anymore. And whatever is here, it wants me to know that. When I came back down from the tower, my house had changed. Not drastically, just little things. My front door was closed. I had left it open. The lights were on in rooms I hadn't entered. The photo on the fridge, the one of me and my brother at the lake, had been flipped upside down and written on the back, in my handwriting, "Stop looking." I didn't write that. Or, I don't remember writing it. That's the part that's getting to me, because I keep finding things I don't remember doing, like I'm being edited, like I'm being overwritten, one frame at a time. The shadows are closer now. They don't hide anymore. I see them at the edges of buildings, reflected in glass, stretching across rooms I haven't entered yet. Sometimes they're shaped like people I know. Sometimes they look like me. I think whatever brought this wants me to see it, to understand. And every second I spend in this frozen world, I feel something shifting. In me, around me, like the longer I stay here, the more I belong to it tonight. The footsteps came back. Slower this time, heavier, each one deliberate. Measured. I didn't run, didn't hide. I just sat at the kitchen table, waiting, listening. The clock on the microwave blinked 3:11 a.m. The same time the door unlocked before. The same time the sky stopped changing. The same time everything began to slip. And right on cue. The hallway light flickered, once, twice, then went dead, and something stepped into view. It was me, standing in the hallway, same height, same build. Oh, same clothes, down to the frayed cuff on my left sleeve. Same scar on my right hand from when I fell off my bike at 12. But the eyes weren't mine. They were calm, like something had finished waiting. The other me walked forward, slow, unblinking, and sat down across from him. And then, the other, see you know us, and eyes in a well. Sure are we colder J and Ray. Like this was a meeting we'd both agreed to a long time ago. I didn't speak, neither did he. Not at first. He just watched me. Same breath, same rhythm, same body, but not me. And then he whispered, softly, like he'd been waiting his turn for centuries. Your turn. 2 words, that's all. But the moment he said them, I understood. He wasn't replacing me. He was handing it off. Whatever this is, this town, this silence, this curse, it moves, it chooses, it passes on, and now it's mild, not cruelly, not kindly, just knowingly. Then he stood up, walked down the hall, and out the door. It didn't creak. It didn't close. It just ceased to be. Now I'm sitting here, still at the kitchen table, writing this down, telling the story, because I think that's part of it. I have to record it. Leave it behind, just like he did, just like whoever came before him did, because when this thing chooses you, you're not supposed to fight it. You're supposed to watch, to understand, and then pass it on. So if you're hearing this, if you found this file or transcript or whatever form this message takes where you are, you're next. That's not a threat. It's a pattern. It always starts the same way. You wake up. Something feels off. The world is quiet. Too quiet. And then you notice you're alone. You think it's just your town, your street, your bad dream, but it isn't. It's already looking at you. Already walking your halls. Already waiting behind your mirror. Smiling, because you weren't taken by mistake. You were left behind, like me. And now I'm not alone anymore. If you wake up and your town is too quiet, don't open the door. Don't answer your phone. Don't trust the reflection. Because when everyone disappears, they don't take you by mistake.